Hi, boys and girls. Today's lesson is a rather easy one. It starts off with 27.1, which is pretty much our War of 1812 assessment. So we've really been reading a lot about the War of 1812. We've reread each story probably 2 or 3 times, some of them I think even 4. So this is our assessment 27.1, the War of 1812. And what you need to do is you're going to read the multiple choice questions and the answers. There are, 11 of them. And then number 12 is name 2 adjectives, and adjectives are words that describe. Name 2 adjectives to describe Francis Scott Key and tell why you chose them. Use examples of things Key said or did. So if you remember Francis Scott Key, he wrote our national anthem. He sat on the boat in the harbor through the entire night watching for our flag. So there's lots of words that come to my mind to describe him. Afraid is not one of them. I would not say he was afraid. I would say he was afraid if he ran away, but he stayed there. So for example, you could say maybe brave. Francis Scott Key was brave because he sat and watched as the battle took place. So there's a clue for you, and you could probably think of another one. But this is our assessment. So do the multiple choice questions, and then you have that where you have to do another sentence. Then we have a letter from Mr. Mouse. And we know Mr. Mouse, he's not very good at spelling. Shh, okay, I'm happy Daddy's home. Mr. Mouse isn't very good at spelling. So he's going to have lots of words spelled wrong here. But 27.2, a letter from Mr. Mouse. Dear boys and girls. Boys, girls. We know it should end with an S, but that's okay. We'll just let Mr. Mouse spell it. It says, greetings from your old friend, Mr. Mouse. I have really been enjoying listening to you and your teacher reading and talking about the War of 1812. I am really learning a lot. I even learned that the Star-Spangled Banner is our national anthem. But I still have some questions about our flag and the words to describe our anthem. Maybe you can help me find the answers. Your pal, Mr. Mouse. So this is to lead us up for the report that we're going to be writing on the War of 1812. And here we have it all spelled correctly, but I was able to read what he said. So these are just some questions you should think about. You should not, you don't have to answer them, but here's some Mr. Mouse's questions. What do the words of our national anthem describe? Hopefully most of you are thinking the flag. When singing our national anthem, how should people behave? Well, I think we know from morning program that you're supposed to stand still, be quiet, put your hand on your heart, face the flag. It says, how do people show respect for the flag? Well, they face it. People take their hats off. And it says, how did the poem Francis Scott Key wrote become our national anthem? That's a good question. We did not talk about that, but we're going to learn that. Then here's some more questions. What are the 3 times during the attack on Fort McHenry that Key looked for the flag? Well, we know he looked for it in the evening, and then in the night, and then in the dawn. How could Key see the flag in the middle of the night? Well, we know that the bombs lit up the sky. Why couldn't Key see the flag just before the sun came up? Probably because I think the battle ended and there was no more bombs bursting. And why was it important to Key to see if the flag was still flying after the attack ended? So we know it was important for him to see it because that would tell him if we gave up or not. So there we go. Those are questions that we're going to really dive into to do our report. And then these are just some practice worksheets. You don't need to submit them. 27.3 is parts of speech. So if you have time, look at the story End of the War, find a common noun, proper noun. You've done these before. And then it says use some words from the list on the front of the worksheet to make your own sentences about Andrew Jackson. And then 27.4, circle complete or incomplete for each of the following. If it is a complete sentence, place the correct punctuation in the sentence. So it says the girls have some good news. Well, that's complete. Period. Got a puppy. This is missing the subject. I'm wondering who got the puppy. So that would definitely be incomplete. Okay, so you can't put a punctuation because it's not complete. and that's 27.4. Those are your worksheets for today, but only do and submit 27.1, your War of 1812 assessment. Okay, have a great Wednesday. Bye.